Hello and welcome to Intro to New Media Online Fall 2017. My name is Jamie Cohen. I want to introduce you to the course and I want to tell you a little bit about how the course is going to operate. This way we get a little bit of a sense of how we're going to go through the semester. First, I want to give you some basic information about who I am and why I'm teaching it. I'm Jamie Cohen and I am the founder and program director of the New Media major. This class is not for media majors solely, although it is required of new media majors, but this is really more about a class to introduce people to new media, hence the title Introduction to New Media. And what the goal here is to give you a well-rounded, well-understood version of what the current environment of new media is. And so a lot of people think that new media is the opposite of old media, but that's not really what it is. New media in our terminology is really emergent media, or the idea that new is always happening. It's always happening, that's all the time. And so that's not something that's like new media is something that could be old media. There's no such thing as new becoming old media because new is constantly new. In other words, this is a cultural studies class. Culture is always new. It's always something that's happening in real time. So I think that's important for us to understand right off the bat. Not only am I the founder and program director of this, but my background is in media literacy. So I have several published articles in media literacy, and this summer I actually was invited to do a talk in Austria at the Salzburg Global Seminar on populism and YouTube. That's my main study. I've been studying YouTube environments since 2006, so way back when. So since then, a lot has changed, like a real lot. In fact, to this point in our current culture, this is the first semester where Matt and I, my chair of the department, Digital Humanities and New Media, the two of us are reformulating this class specifically to better reflect how things have changed in the recent past, but within the last year or so. And one of the things we added and changed were a little more readings on the idea of populism in digital environments. And I don't mean populism in the idea of politics, I mean populism in the idea of rhetorics or community. And so that's something that we're going to be going about a lot this class. And I'll help you define what populism means during the time that we go through this class, because I think that's very important for you to understand and keep an eye out for what's going to be changing in the next several years. So let me break down this class. This class is broken into 5 modules. You have to pass each module in order to move on to the next section, as with most online classes. These modules are based on assignments, readings, and lectures, and where you have to watch and respond to these things, and after you've watched and responded to them, you can move on. And what I really want you to do is get a full and well-rounded idea of what new media is. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think you're going to understand it. If you have any situation or any problems whatsoever or any question, you should, I'm going to make a general discussion board that you can post in, or you could use the chat feature, or you can contact me via email at any point to ask me these questions. I prefer you use my Gmail account, which I'll put into one of the pages, and this way you can get a hold of me a lot quicker than if you were to use my Malloy account. And I think that's fairly important because some of these things may be confusing to you, or you might need clarification, or you just want to learn more, and I think that you can have that access at any point. So these are the lectures. This is how they're going to look. It's usually me here in my house or at work explaining to you some of the features of new media that are going to go in a little more in depth. The lectures run anywhere between, a total of 15 to 20 minutes each time, so that's not too many. Basically one a week or one every other week, so don't expect one per week. Think about 10 for the whole semester. And what they do is my way of giving you the additional information that has to happen by speaking it to you rather than something you read. Now that said, you're going to have a fair amount of readings. They're not long. They're usually news articles. They're not something that's in depth. They're something that's less academic. I think there's only 2 academic writings, including the first piece that you've read already, which I really wanted you to read because that's the foundation of what we're doing in this class. And then another piece from a book that'll happen a little later in the semester. Grading is done mechanically, which means it's done by the Canvas system. And then afterward, I make sure I look through every single one. In case you get a question, like if we ever do open-ended questions, I'll come back and I'll correct them to make sure that you're right on. So some of the readings might have open-ended question and answers. I'll double check to make sure the machine didn't grade you. Sometimes syntax errors, like a missing period, might be a problem to it. And then remember, most importantly, that this class is your responsibility. Since it's online, we don't have a structured time. The first few assignments have deadlines, but in the end, I'm going to start removing the deadlines, and you're just going to have to defeat the modules. The modules are dated. In other words, Module 1 has to be completed by September 25th. If it's not, I'm going to find a problem. I'm going to contact you directly. The reason for me to have those deadlines is so you keep track and keep up with the work that's being done in the in-class part. Now, I do that just in case at any point you need to sync up or ask somebody who's in the in-class version what's going on, and this way you could talk to them. I'd rather you not fall behind. Second, it's because I don't want you doing all of the work at the very last day of the semester. I think that's pretty problematic, and I think you'll be very stressed out if you get to that point. So I really do this for you. It's as much as it is for me to pace myself out, I really make sure that you're handling it pretty well. Okay?